The tour begins with an Emirates flight into Salalah from Dubai. We have 3 nights here before flying to Muscat, where we transfer to the beautiful Omani town of Nizwa for 3 nights. We board 4-wheel drives to travel across the Wahiba sands to a beautiful desert camp for a night. We then head north to the Turtle Beach of Ras Al Had. After a night here, we travel further north to Muscat on the northwest arm of the Arabian Sea. After 3 nights in the capital, we board our 2-hour flight to Jordan. The 3 nights we spend in Salalah is at the Crown Plaza Hotel. It is very comfortable and is situated right on the beach on the Indian Ocean. After the monsoon, the surrounding area is lush green, and our hotel is well located to explore the beauty of Angkor waterfalls and Wadi Darbat. From Wadi Darbat, we drive towards the 2,100 metre peak of Jebel Samhan. And from the viewpoint, there are superb vistas of the Salalah plains and their rugged coastline. Below the extraordinary escarpment of Jebel Samhan is the charming fishing village of Mirbat. Once an important trading centre of frankincense, the fishing enclave is a mirror of the simple lives of their Omani ancestors. This morning we start to explore Salalah, second largest city in Oman and 1,000 kilometers away from Muscat. We start appropriately with the Museum of the Frankincense Land at the Al Balid Archaeological Park. The entrance to the park is of course dominated by a frankincense tree. We also visit the Al Haftar Bazaar, where the aroma of frankincense pervades every corner of the old-style souk, along with legendary Omani hospitality. Early this morning, we board Omani Air for the 90-minute flight to Muscat, and as soon as we arrive, we transfer to Nizwa for 3 nights. Nizwa is an ancient oasis town in the magnificent mountainous terrain of Oman's interior. This religious centre of the Omanis has a moving past that manifests itself in the city's defensive fortress. Although much of Nizwa has been restored or rebuilt, its atmosphere remains intact. The town has a charming oriental ambience in the silent and shady courtyards, and outside there are rivers, orchards and towering palm trees that create a balmy atmosphere. Nizwa Souk is famous for its vast array of handicrafts, and there is also a food section where fruit and vegetables are from the surrounding plantations. The cattle market is a place where time seems to have stood still. The hustle and bustle of the marketplace is reminiscent of a bygone era, as traders from surrounding mountains descend on the oasis. The next day, we use four-wheel drives and head towards the 3,000 metre summit of Jebel Shams, or Mountain of the Sun. It will take us 2 hours to cover the 95 kilometres to reach a breathtaking moonscape that is known as the Grand Canyon of Arabia. When we reach the top, we have a chance to hike along the balcony, an incredible walk that overlooks the Wadi Gul Canyon 500 metres below. On one of the days we're in Nizwa, we visit a 2 million year old Al Huta cave complex. An electric train takes us to the entrance of the 4.5 kilometre cavern. The stunning cave was discovered by a shepherd who was searching for his goat in 1960. Silence engulfs the visitor after stepping into the vast chambers. The cave consists of 4 lakes and is home to the endemic blind fish called Bu Nasse. These fish have adapted to the darkness and have no pigmentation and are transparent. Their whole skeletal structure is visible. A 3-hour drive to the heart of eastern Oman brings us to the unforgiving landscape of the Wahiba Sands. These red dunes, which reach heights of 100 metres, are an important part of the Omani jigsaw, as the primal power of the desert is unveiled. Rising like a mirage, our desert nights camp is air-conditioned luxury in the alluring sands. It will be our home for the night. Splendour in complete isolation. The next afternoon, we leave the desert, and after a 2-hour drive, we arrive at the magnificent beach of Ras Al Had, colloquially known as Turtle Beach. Once again, we stay in luxury tents for the night, this time on the Arabian Sea. Dawn at Ras Al Jinks Beach. Between June and August, hundreds of female turtles use this beach as a nesting ground. The green turtle can weigh up to 190 kilos, and from laying 100 eggs, it is likely that only one hatchling will make it into the sea. This is one of nature's most remarkable cycles. Exhausted, the mother drags her great hulk back into the sea. She will lay many more eggs before the season is finished. This morning we leave for Muscat. But on the way we stop at the beautiful natural phenomena of the Bimar sinkhole, a turquoise mix of salt and fresh water. Muscat, early evening. Welcome to the most authentic city in Arabia. Our hotel for 3 nights in Muscat is the Intercontinental. It is connected to the Royal Opera House by a stunning walkway. Already one of the world's great opera houses, the building was completed in 2011. Turandot was performed by Placido Domingo for the official opening night. Contemporary Omani architecture, this opera house boasts sensational acoustics. Spectacularly wedged between the mountains and the sea, Muscat is actually made up of 3 cities that are grown together into one. This is the Mutra Corniche, the oldest in the country, and it is home to the most atmospheric souk on the Arabian Peninsula. Often referred to as the Market of Darkness, Mutra Souk is a myriad of narrow winding alleys. An assault on the senses, the souk has a variety of silverware, daggers, hulware and traditional cloth. Nearby is the Sultan Qaboos Mosque. Quietly imposing from the outside, this is an amazing piece of modern Islamic architecture. It can accommodate 20,000 worshippers and the main prayer hall is breathtaking. The Persian carpet in the centre took 600 women 4 years to weave. The chandelier is simply stunning. 14 metres in height, weighing 8 tonnes, which includes 600,000 crystals, it is the largest in the world. The flight from Muscat arrives into Oman in the early evening. After 2 nights in the Jordanian capital, we head south to the Dead Sea for 1 night. The next afternoon, we leave for Petra for a 2-night stay. We then move into the great Wadi Rum Desert for a night, before continuing to the Red Sea port of Aqaba for the final 2 nights of the tour.
Welcome to Jordan.
This morning, we explore downtown Amman, one of the oldest inhabited cities of the world. Jews, Christians and Muslims have shopped together in this market for 1,000 years. And still in the old city is a 2nd century AD 6,000 seat Roman auditorium. Fully restored in 1957, the theatre often hosts performances of opera, ballet and Middle East celebrities. After, we head towards the citadel, located on the highest of the 7 hills, for great views overlooking Amman. Near to Amman is the Roman city of Jerash. These vast ruins are remarkable for their state of preservation. Imposing ceremonial gates, colonnaded avenues, temples and theatres allow even a layman to piece together ancient life under the rule of the emperor. This morning we head south to the Dead Sea on the historic 280-kilometre King's Highway. This is the same highway that brought Moses from Egypt as they wandered into the Holy Land. It will take 1 hour to descend 420 meters below sea level to the Dead Sea, the lowest point on Earth. With a salt content of more than 32%, 4 times that of an ocean, this is one of the greatest ecological treasures on the planet. The Queen of Sheba and Cleopatra both visited the Dead Sea for its skin healing powers. The rich black mud has a unique composition of minerals such as magnesium, calcium, potassium, bromide, zinc and iron. People with arthritis and psoriasis particularly swear by the healing powers of the mud. After lunch, we depart for Petra, once again on the King's Highway. The journey will take us 4 hours. And our 2 nights in Petra is at the Movenpick Hotel, located superbly at the very entrance to the Lost City. The next morning, we walk through the Sig, a narrow 1.2 kilometer canyon that leads us into the rose-tinted city of Petra. Founded in 312 BC, it was the capital city of the Nabateans, an ancient Arabian people who were the makers of extraordinary prehistoric civilizations. Homes, shops, churches, fountains and theatres were carved into the multicoloured sandstone. At its peak, it was home to 20,000 inhabitants. Forgotten for centuries, Petra was rediscovered only in 1812. Yet still, by day or night, it is a true wonder of the world. This morning, we leave Petra for the 90-minute drive to the Wadi Rum Desert. And when we get to the edge of the desert, we transfer into 4-wheel drive vehicles. Meaning Moon Valley, Wadi Rum is untouched by time or civilization. For thousands of years, the sun and wind affected the terrain, creating cliffs, arcs, wells and canyons of various forms. The otherworldly terrain of this desert has been the background for such movies as Transformers, Red Planet, The Last Days of Mars, The Martian, Lawrence of Arabia, and many others. The unique surface, which closely resembles Mars, appeared as a result of a crack in the Earth's crust that moved giant plates of granite and sandstone. Our night in Wadi Rum is spent in these cosy igloos that have a glorious desert backdrop. As desert temperatures drop to +4, the igloos are warm and snug. In the morning, we say goodbye to our 4-wheel drives as we turn back onto the King's Highway for the final 1-hour leg of the journey to the Red Sea. The beautiful city of Aqaba is sandwiched between the majestic Red Sea and Red Rose Mountains. It is Jordan's only port access. On the last day of the tour, we board a boat towards the eastern coast of Sinai Peninsula. Our destination is Pharaoh's Island, Egypt. The island is just 300 meters long and 100 meters wide, and sitting on top is the 12th century castle, the citadel of Saladin, which in the past ensured the safety of pilgrims in the Holy Land. From the top of the castle, there are spectacular views of 4 countries: Egypt, Jordan, Israel, and Saudi Arabia. A delicious barbecue lunch is cooked and served on board by the crew. The waters are turquoise and transparent, and the coral reef and aquatic fauna are stunning. Oman and Jordan is a remarkable journey to 2 culturally rich desert nations sitting at opposite ends of the Arabian Peninsula. They seamlessly blend traditional and modern culture that is the last real essence of Arabia.